Hello students, time to talk about the quiz review for this Friday's domain and range quiz. Some of these questions are going to require the calculator, for example when we are evaluating functions, but most of it is going to be fairly calculator free. Mostly just looking at the graphs and figuring out what we need to do. But as you can see, the first question here says identify the range of the function f of x equals 2x minus 4 given the domain 0, 1, and 4. Now what this means is that when x is 0, 1, and 4, what is y? So the easiest way to go about this is to use the calculator. So we're going to go ahead and plug in this function, 2x minus 4. Look at the table. When x is 0, y is negative 4. When x is 1, y is negative 2. And when x is 4, y is also 4. Now, these are the range values. These are the y values. We want to make it look like the question. So what we need to do is make sure that we write the range is, and then what my range values are from least to greatest. So smallest to biggest. The smallest number here is negative 4, then negative 2, then 4. So this is a helpful tool. This is the answer. Okay? Numbers 2 through 4 ask to consider the function f of x equals negative x squared plus 3. We want to find f of negative 1, negative 3 f of 0, and 3 f of 2. First one's easy. For all three of these, we need to plug the equation into the calculator. Negative x squared plus 3, and then we're going to go use the table to find f of negative 1. Now, when it's inside the parentheses, that means that it's going to be my x value. So I'm going to scroll up to negative 1, and here I see that f of negative 1 equals 2. Now, these next two are the ones that we had a little bit of trouble with in class. So I'm going to rewrite these so they make a bit more sense. This is negative 3 f of 0. So what we're going to rewrite this as is negative 3 times f of 0. So we need to find out what f of 0 is and multiply that by negative 3. F of 0 is 3. So this is going to be negative 3 times 3. So negative 3 f of 0 is equal to negative 9, which is 3 times 3. Same thing up here. We want 3 times f of 2. Which means we need to figure out what f of 2 is. Looking at the calculator again, f of 2 is negative 1. So we're going to multiply those two numbers together and say that 3 f of 2 equals 3 times negative 1, which is negative 3. So these are my answers. Okay. Now, we won't need the calculator much for the rest. For number 5 through 9, it says to determine the domain and range for each relation. Remember, a relation is a set of values, a set of points. So this whole first page is set notation, table notation, mapping, mapping, mapping. Okay? Which makes all of these fairly simple. Now, for my domain is going to be all of the x values in order from least to greatest. X's are 4, 0, 11, 17. They are not in order in the list. So we're going to go, the lowest one is 0, then 4, 11, then 17. So that is my domain. My range values are going to be the y's, again from least to greatest. Okay. My lowest y value is negative 5. Now it appears twice in these points, but we only need to list it once. We just need to show that there is a negative 5 in this list. The next biggest y value is 10, and then 30. So that is my range. Number 6, basically the same idea. We are going to go down my list of x values, find the smallest x value, and then go from there. The lowest x value I have here is negative 5. Then we go up to 0. Then we're going to go to 2, and then 10. Now, 0 appears twice here. We're only going to put it once here. but also point out that 0 appearing twice in the domain means that this is not a function. That's a repeating x value. We're going to go through our y's now, which is on this side. The lowest y value we have is -10. The next lowest would be 0, then 2, then 4, then 5. Bam. Now, mapping here. We already have our x's listed out and our y's listed out. And lucky for us, in this map, the numbers are in the correct order. So all we have to do with this one is to list them the way they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My y values are also in order from least to greatest. In this case, there are only 2 of them, 0 and 1. And that one's done. For the next one, this is not a very good map. This map has our numbers jumbled up. But remember, left side is always x, right side is always y. So left side is always domain, and right side is always range. Okay? So my domain values, I do need to make sure I get these in the proper order this time. The smallest domain value is going to be 3. It's followed by 8, and then 12. Okay, for my range values, again, I need to make sure I get these in the proper order. My smallest range value is 6, then 9, then 26. And that's that. Last map on this page, again, we have our things already listed out, x and y. My domain values, from least to greatest, my smallest number here is -3. Then we have 2, then we have 5. My range values, again, this case they are from least to greatest, but that's because there's only 2 of them. -5 and 12. So these are the easier ones to find domain and range from. When you have set notation, table notation, or mapping, it's just a matter of writing down all the numbers. Okay, that's page 1. Take a break, we'll get back to page 2.